Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel. If you're new, my name is Nastasia, and before I do anything, I wanted to thank you guys so much. I hit 10,000 subscribers yesterday, and I'm literally so grateful. I know that that's not like a big number compared to a lot of people on YouTube, but like, I don't know. It was always such a big goal for me, and obviously now I'm on to even bigger goals and stuff, but it's just like so cool to me. Thank you. I'm so grateful. The fact that God has put you guys in my life is beyond what you can imagine, so good to me and blesses me so much. So, getting into the video, today I'm doing a fun kind of pep talk video. I love giving these to you guys, and this one is concerning kind of like your weight. So a few videos back I did a video on gaining, I think it was like 20 or 30 pounds or something like that, and kind of sharing that journey with you guys with before and after pictures and stuff like that. And I got rid of some clothes in that video. And today I really want to focus on how life-giving it seems it was for me to just get rid of clothes that didn't fit me. And like a little evaluation you guys can do if you feel like you have been struggling with hanging on to something because you maybe might want to fit in it one day, or you're holding yourself to this unrealistic standard. So that's what this video is today. If you end up liking it, give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and join the 10,000 friends that are here. It's so exciting. My Instagram's right here if you want to check me out there. I do behind the scenes of my life and everything else. And let's get into it. So when you're holding an item, for me, like there is a certain, like there were a couple dresses that I adored, but I couldn't fit in them anymore. And so this helped me, these kind of questions. 1, are you keeping this in hopes of fitting into it one day? 2, are you pregnant or were you just pregnant? 3, how long has it been since that item fit you? 4, where was I at, you know, mentally, or where were you at mentally, emotionally, whatever, and how old were you when that item fit your body? 5, do you really want to be that size again, or do you just want to be as happy as you were when you were that size? 6, is it worth keeping that item of clothing if you one day do fit into it again, but you feel guilt and shame every day until then? And 7, why are you so attached to this size that you have in your head for your body, and what moral value are you giving that size in your body? So I ask you these questions because these are some things that really brought me down to like a realistic expectation of myself. There was one dress in particular. I talked about it in my most recent video. Actually, I'm gonna go get the dress. Hold on. So this is the dress, and yes, I am taking my own advice and getting rid of this. A coworker wants it, and she's gonna look beautiful in it, but I haven't been able to go back to work yet with everything going on in the world, so I'm just keeping it in my extra bedroom, but I am getting rid of it. But it's this beautiful, beautiful sweetheart dress, and it's a little like lacy at the bottom with these flowers. I'm obsessed with this dress. I love it. The last time this dress fit me, though, I was 17 years old, okay? 17. That's like, oh my goodness. I mean, I'm 24 now, so that's 7 years. A lot can happen in 7 years. I mean, in those 7 years, I graduated high school. I moved to a different state by myself to go to college. I graduated with a degree at college. I went through multiple breakups. I was vegan for a period of time. I lived in an apartment that was haunted. That's a whole different story. But my point being, like, I have been through a lot of things since being 17. A lot of things that would change my body, affect me, you know, and also like my body hadn't stopped growing yet. And now I'm at more of a mature body age, I guess I would say, where my body is probably, I mean, definitely more where it's supposed to be long term than when I was 17, because I was still growing. So I ask those questions because if I were to ask those questions to myself when I was holding on to this dress for the past 7 years, hoping that maybe my ribs will shrink at some point for me to fit into it, I would have been way happier and healthier just passing it on to somebody else like I am now. And I really want to focus on those last 2 questions I asked of, you know, well, I guess the last 3, do you want to be that size again, or do you just want to be as happy as you were? Because that's a very valid question, I think, to ask yourself. When I think of myself at 17, honestly, I wasn't happy. 17 and 18, I wasn't happy. When I was still living at home, we were going through all the situations with my parents' divorce and everything, and I was stressed, and school was hard, I hated high school, all the things. And so, no, I wasn't even happy. When I think of that time, I still thought I was overweight. I still thought I was unattractive. I still thought nobody saw me. And now, for some reason, that's the prize in my head of being that girl again, fitting into this. And the thing is, I don't know why I thought for all this time that being a certain size would instantly make me happy. Because I also look back at about 2 years ago when I was the smallest I had ever been. And I talk about that in my last video, so please go watch that one if you want a further explanation of that and how I got to that weight in an unhealthy way. Oh, sorry, I moved you guys. But like, I was miserable. It was literally like the hardest 6 months of my entire life, and maybe 8 months of my entire life, and I've been through some crap, and it was the hardest, and I was the smallest. Like, I wouldn't want to go back to that, you know? Like, it's just like, I feel like we always want what we can't have, even if when we did have it, it really wasn't that great to begin with. So like, if you just want to be happy and you think that'll get you there, first of all, it won't. Second of all, even if that was the direct route to happiness, there are 1 million other routes, like a million. And the biggest one, and the one that will give you ultimate fulfillment and joy, is in Jesus Christ, which you can have today, this moment. You don't have to lose a single pound or gain a single pound. You don't have to change anything about yourself physically whatsoever for him to love you. And so that's where you find your ultimate fulfillment. And obviously that's the biggest thing. But even with that, like, God has given us other routes of happiness on this earth too, like friendships, community, family, relationships in general, puppies. Like, there's so many other ways to find happiness, you know, and creativity and different things. My puppy is shaking right now. Other than just making yourself as small as humanly possible. And then with that, I also want to point out, like, okay, so what if you do get to that weight again? What if I got to that size, which I literally couldn't with my ribs, but what if I somehow starved myself basically and got to the size I was when I was 17 years old? Is it worth it just to put on that dress and say, I did it, if every day until then I am miserable and feel shame and guilt just for existing the way that I do? Like, that, in my book, that's not worth it. It is not worth however many days, months, years it would take for me to be in a bad mindset to get to that point, just to, yay, I put a dress on. Like, this actually doesn't change anything about my life. Like, and I'm not telling you even don't lose weight. I don't know your health concerns. I don't know what your doctor tells you. I don't know what your body says to do for yourself. I don't know that, but I'm coming at this from a perspective of, you're holding on to these clothes because you hate your body right now, and you're using this as some kind of materialistic idol to get you where you want to be so that you love yourself again. And that's just not gonna fly, sis. It's not gonna work. It never will. The only way, if you actually are trying to lose weight in a healthy way, you have to fix your mindset first. And you basically have to go in, at least this is for me, you have to go into it with the mindset of, whether I lose weight or not, if I am healthier at the end of the day, it's worth it. That's the best mindset, in my opinion, to have. is aiming for health over measurements. And sometimes they fall in line with each other. Sometimes as you get healthier, your measurements do change, and sometimes they don't. And sometimes you weigh the same, but you look different, or your measurements are different, or, you know, it can be everything. But as long as your mindset is in the right place, you will be happy. Like, happiness is not found on the scale. You don't step on the scale and it tells you you're sad today, or you're angry today, or you're happy, or you're content, or you love yourself. It says a number. That's a fact. That's it. It just says a number. And then you perceive that the way you want to. And I just am sick of us keeping these clothes, and when we can't zip it, you know, okay, the zipper doesn't go up. That doesn't tell you have to be sad today. That just says, okay, zipper's not going up. That's it. That's all it's telling you. But you write the narrative in your head of what that means to you, how you're going to process that information, and what action is going to take place out of that. And what if we just tried on the dress and it doesn't fit? And you're like, you know what? This really hasn't fit for a month, 2 months, 6 months, a year, 7 years. I should get rid of it, because this is torturing me to keep holding myself and my worth to the standard of a material item. There's no comparison. You are gold. You are golden, child, in the eyes of Christ. That dress, that material good, it's all gonna fade. None of it's real. I mean, when it comes down to it, it's not gonna bring you happiness. Great, you fit into it, and what, you wear it one time? You're telling me you're gonna wear that dress every waking moment of your life, and that's what you're working for right now? You'll probably wear it one time. You have this high hopes that everybody's just gonna notice, and you're gonna be this most beautiful creature of all time, and nobody's ever gonna question your beauty again. But guess what? Everybody's more concerned with themselves than other people. It's just nature. And then you're gonna be disappointed again. And you're gonna think, maybe I didn't do enough. Nobody noticed, or nobody said anything, or worse, what if somebody comments on your weight in a bad way in that dress that you took? So it's a spiral. There's no winning that game. And I know that some of you might be thinking, great, so I'll get rid of half my closet maybe. Maybe it's half your closet that doesn't fit you right now. You know, I don't know your situation, and you're thinking, I don't have the money right now to just get rid of my clothes and buy all new ones. But I do want to ask you, okay, so those clothes are taking up half your closet, or maybe it's not, but I'm just, you know, overestimating here. And you can't fit in them, so you're not wearing them, so you're not getting the value out of them anyway. So what money are you saving by just having them in your closet? Wouldn't it be way better to go sell them maybe? Sell them on Instagram, Poshmark, sell them to Plato's Closet, sell them to your friends, something like that, or donate them to Goodwill. When you donate them to Goodwill, you get like a 10% off coupon or 20% or something like that for you if you want to spend it at Goodwill. I love thrifting. You can find some freaking good stuff at the thrift shop. I have a video coming out soon, maybe the next one, of all the thrift finds. Anyway, that's a whole different one. But I'm just saying, you can find some good stuff at thrift stores too. So isn't that like a better value to get something that fits you instead of having something in your closet just sitting there that is wasting away? And what if I told you you could feel comfortable in your body right now without having to lose a single pound or gain a single pound or whatever your story is, and feel way more comfortable, probably 100% more comfortable now than you do when you're trying to fit into those clothes? You know how you do it? Buy clothes that fit you. I learned this at a young age. I grew up watching What Not to Wear with my mother on TLC. We loved it. And one of the biggest things they ever told these people, some women were like overweight, or they thought they were overweight in their mind or something, and they wore clothes that didn't fit them. Either they wore clothes that were way too big to try to cover up themselves so nobody would see them, or they wore clothes that were way too small that they just hoped they could fit into, because if they could fit into a size 4, then they were skinny, then they were pretty, then they were worthy. And these people just kept saying, like, you you feel uncomfortable because you're not wearing clothes that flatter your body or fit you. And I've always taken that with me, but I had to re-implement it into my life, like in the past few months. Just, who cares if you can't fit into a size 0, 2, 4, 6, 8 jean anymore? What if you have to go to 10? Whoa, is the world gonna stop turning? Like, are you any less of a person? Does that number actually change anything about your life? You know, and if it does, if there's somebody crappy enough in your life to say, I'm not gonna date you if you go over a size 8 or something like that, well, they shouldn't be there anyway, so bye, I just helped your life. Honestly, like, does it affect your livelihood if you go up in a jean size? Probably not. Does it affect your, worth of yourself? Does it affect how Jesus sees you? Absolutely not. Does it affect how your family loves you? Probably not, and I hope not. Like, it's not going to affect the grand scheme of your life. And honestly, no one has to know. Like, it's no one's business what size you wear anyway, unless you want to make it their business and be happy about it. But like, I bought a bigger size jeans than I had last year, and guess what? I didn't have to tell a single person. Actually, they probably make me look better than the old jeans did because they fit me right. When something fits you right, you actually look slimmer a lot of times than if you have something too small and you feel like you're kind of spilling out of it. So like, there's a hack for you. Just wear clothes that fit you. Who cares what the tag says? You can literally rip it out and never look at it again if you want to. With that, I want to say too, like I mentioned in one of the questions earlier, pregnancy. Like, are you pregnant or were you just pregnant? The reason, you might think that's random, but the reason I said it is because, like if you're pregnant, you know that 9 months later, you're going to have this baby and your body's going to start going back to relatively what it used to be. You know, it might change a little, but you know what I mean. Anyway, you're not going to have this giant baby sticking out from you anymore because you'll have the baby. So you don't throw out all of your clothes that you fit in before the baby. You're going to keep those. Like, so that's what I'm saying. Like, don't throw out your clothes if you're pregnant, or if you were just pregnant, like give yourself some time. The concept that women will buy maternity clothes while they're pregnant. Why? Because they can't fit into the clothes they had when they weren't pregnant. Does that mean they squeeze themselves in? Does that mean they do anything they can? Does that mean they hide themselves? Mostly, no. They go out and they buy a couple maternity items. Like, or if they think they're not going to go back to their other size, they'll just buy new clothes. Because guess what? They're giving life to something. Like, they're growing a child. And they're going to wear something that's comfortable on them. They're going to wear something that is, flattering to them, even while they're pregnant. Like, something that's cute on them. They're not gonna be miserable for 9 months. And like, that's even just for 9 months. So imagine yourself, or me, 7 years later, still holding onto a dress, dying to fit into it. Like, just get rid of the clothes. Just get rid of them. Honestly, give them away, donate them, use them for something else. Like, it's not worth it. It's not worth your head. It's not worth your heart. Like, just love your body the way it is now. That doesn't mean you can't make steps to be healthier. That doesn't mean you can't lose weight. That just means love it how it is now. That if this was your last day on earth, you wouldn't spend it literally hating yourself. So, I love you guys so much. I hope this gave you some kind of pep talk. And you know what? Go donate those clothes and tag me in it. I want to see it on Instagram, please. I love you guys so much, and I'm praying for you. Bye.